first video of my TC Academy. And for those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Jennifer, and I am the person that's going to be teaching you how to work from home as a remote transaction coordinator. But before we get into the systems, the contracts, the closings, and all of those things, let me tell you guys a little bit more about me and what attracted me to being a transaction coordinator. So I started off working in healthcare for many years. I started off as a CNA and worked my way all the way to the top as a manager running a general surgery practice. So I have many years of experience in the healthcare field, and unfortunately, when COVID hit, I got laid off. I had to make a very difficult decision between getting the COVID vaccine while I was pregnant or not being able to work with the company anymore. So once that happened, I decided to start working from home with an insurance company. I had my baby and I needed something that would allow me to work from the comfort of my own home so I didn't have to put my baby in daycare. So once that happened, I got very sick of it very, very quickly. I was working long hours, doing a lot of overtime at the end of every quarter. I wasn't able to spend time with my family. A lot of times I was missing my kids' games, my kids' practices. I was eating dinner from my little office by myself because I had to take phone calls back to back to back. So that got old very, very quickly. And I knew that I needed to make a change. I decided, my husband and I decided to start to get into real estate. Now, I'll be honest with you, I had no experience and I did not know what the heck I would do within real estate, but I did know that I wanted to support my husband. So I did some research and I looked into this video on different avatars within real estate. There are many of these videos out there on YouTube. You can probably find some like little quizzes online that you guys can take. But based on my personality and my background, I came across transaction coordinating. I had very strong administrative skills, attention to detail, keeping things in order. And so I knew that transaction coordinating was going to be the right route for me. So once I got into that, I said to my husband, listen, I think I would be a really great transaction coordinator. Because like, I think you would too. And so he started making calls. He got his first deal under contract, which was super exciting. He was doing the investment side of things, and I was going to handle the back end of things. So when he got that property under contract, he just took it from there and he was handling everything. And so I said to him, I'm like, babe, how's everything going? He's like, I mean, I don't know. They're taking care of everything, and the attorneys will let me know if they need anything. And I was like, oh my God. So the deal was starting to drag on a little bit more and a little bit more. And I said, listen, I need to jump in and help. Let me take care of it. I've been learning a few things and I want to, get some practice in. Why not practice on our own deal, right? So I jumped in, I started to follow up and insert myself into the transaction. And from there, I knew that this is something that I could do. After promoting myself within different real estate communities, I was able to get more and more clients, which was super exciting. I was still doing this while working my W-2, which was pretty demanding, being a customer service rep, just taking phone calls left and right, left and right, left and right. I literally had two computers that I was working off of, working for this insurance company and then the other one working on my business. I knew that I had a goal and I wanted to eventually leave my job. Thankfully, I was able to do it 3 months in. I had the confidence, I had the clientele, I was getting steady income, and I said, okay, this is the time. I'm ready to leave my job. And I quit on the spot. Literally, I've never done that in my life. I've always given them notice, but I was so confident that I was able to make this big and really focus on growing my business. So after, the months kept rolling in, I was seeing that steady income. I went from making 3 grand, 5 grand, 7 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 25 every single month, which was shocking to me, guys. I don't have a degree. I have some college credits, but I've always thought that to make that amount of money, you needed to have a license or you need to have a degree. That was my mindset. And now I have a completely different mindset because I've actually been through it and I'm like, wait a minute. There's literally ways of making money working from home without a degree and without a license. And that's why you guys are here today, because you guys want to learn how I did it, right? And make this a reality for you. And it's a reality for a lot of people. You may be asking yourself, how is it in this industry? Is there a high demand for transaction coordinators? The answer is yes, absolutely. You can work with investors, real estate agents. You can get business from title companies, attorneys, loan officers. The list goes on and on. Just think about the amount of real estate that is being sold on a consistent basis. And you can be a part of that. Transaction coordinating has literally changed my mind, the way that I think, the way that I function. It has changed my life. I'm now able to spend more time with my family, have the flexibility, because that is the biggest thing. No amount of money can replace flexibility. Now, if you have kids, you know how that feels, right? When you need to pick up your kids from school, when you need to take them to a doctor's appointment, or you have a family member that you're caring for. And all I need is my laptop and my phone. That is it. And I'm able to get it done. You have so many options available to you as a transaction coordinator. You can specialize in certain transactions. You can work in a state of your choosing. You can work national and have clients in all 50 states. That's what I did in all 50 states. And now I live in Puerto Rico and I'm still running my business. Now, you may be asking yourself, what exactly is a transaction coordinator? How do I explain this to other people? So a transaction coordinator is somebody that's going to work the behind the scenes on a transaction. They're going to handle everything from contract to close. That's communication. That's the contracts. That's the timelines, the disclosures. And everything comes in through you and out through you in the transaction. You hold it together from beginning to end. And this is why transaction coordinators are super important to the real estate industry. Agents need to focus on their next listing, their next buyer. They don't have the time to focus on timelines, on paperwork, on signatures. Neither do investors. Investors get paid when they buy a property, right? They rent it out and now they start getting their money in. So if they're focusing their time on getting this one deal closed when they actually could be focusing on getting 5 or 10 under contract and just passing it along to you, why wouldn't they use a transaction coordinator? You give them time back into their hands. The average investor spends about 15 to 20 hours a week per file without a transaction coordinator. And just imagine how many phone calls they can make during that time, how many sellers they can speak to during that time. Time equals money. And that's why investors and real estate agents would rather pay a transaction coordinator to handle that and take it out of their hands. Now, you may also hear the word TC, My TC Academy, right? A TC is short for transaction coordinator. It means the exact same thing. And so, again, we make sure that we are staying on track. Just like I said with my husband's deal, he had no idea really what was going on. He said, let the attorneys handle it. Well, if you live in an attorney state like Connecticut, attorneys oftentimes drag their feet. And so the longer it takes for a deal to close, they are actually losing money. So we want to get these deals closed out as quickly as possible. Now, you guys have joined the seminar, and if you are like, hey, I really want to do this, I want to learn how to be a transaction coordinator. You're here for the seminar, which is an intro to transaction coordinating. If you did sign up for the diamond tier, the diamond tier will teach you how to handle cash transactions. There are multiple different types of transactions, from very simple to very complex. Cash transactions are the easiest and the quickest closings, which is always awesome. And for those transactions, I charge anywhere from $800 to a little over $1,000 to get those transactions closed. And so why wouldn't you want to learn how to make quick, easy money, closing cash transactions time and time and time again, right? Literally with one file, that can replace most people's weekly income. And the average transaction coordinator can handle anywhere from 10 to 15 files a month. Now, if you can handle a lot more than that, I've been able to handle 20 to 25 transactions a month. And at some point, that's when you'll decide, maybe I should get some help and get an assistant to assist me with the administrative stuff, like following up, sending an email, very simple things. And that is something that I will be doing a totally separate seminar on that as well. So if you are interested in how to run a company, a TC company, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned, because there's a lot of things to learn here. So the next video that I'm going to do, we're going to go over contracts and what that looks like and how to handle those, what you should be looking out for. So make sure that you guys stay tuned, because there's so much to learn here. This is a 3-day seminar, but if you're able to take each of these things that you guys are going to learn here, you can literally start looking for your next client by the end of the seminar. Super excited for you guys. Thank you so much for joining again, and stay tuned for the next video.